it's risky. You don't want today. You got a really good chance. Just gotta find them.
When it comes to my unique style, the biggest thing is mentality. A lot of people just second guess themselves all the time and then just make up excuses for not even getting out there. Or they get out of the woods too early because things just aren't going right. And you can't really have that in your head at all.
I prefer windy days because everything's moving as I'm moving through the woods. So it hides my movement that I have to do. Materials falling off the trees, such as snow, or limbs are breaking off and falling off. It really hides it well. Also, what it does is it hides noise. So my steps, even if it's a little bit crunchier of a day, that wind's going to cover that noise pretty well, and I might be able to get closer to the buck. I usually scout muzzleloader season. I don't go out in September or so forth to scout. I'm scouting during muzzleloader season. So I'm logging all that information. Specifically, like on Onyx, I'll put my waypoints down and I'll hit those spots when I start to get snow. So like boggy areas, because there's high ground somewhere around there, thick softwood. Again, that brings me to those boggy areas. And I just move right along. I'm not still hunting when I have good snow. I'm just moving out and cutting a track. So we've been on this track, and I took a fresher track, and now I'm on a smoking slammer track. And actually, it's a better wind direction. There's not much wind right now, but the wind's going to be in our favor up here. We have a lot of beech where we are, not a lot of oaks. I will find an area where there's a bog, but then hardwood above, and I just skirt in between and zigzag back and forth and hopefully cut a track. It would almost appear as if I wasn't hunting because I'm just moving out and trying to cut a track. And then once I cut that track, I have to age it and see if it's fresh, old, even if it's something that I want to even take. I'm going through the woods. I'll have a little wick on my shoulder and I'll have some scent on there. When that wind's swirling around, it might get that buck that's in rut really worked up, and it might keep him in the area just a moment long enough where I can get a look at him. I always have my grunt tube on me. If I forget my grunt tube in my truck, I will go back and get my grunt tube. It's been very effective for me. Just in the past few years, I've killed bucks by way of that grunt tube and getting them interested and involved in the area where I'm at. So when I come into an area where there's a lot of deer activity and I'm on a specific track, and we come into one of those, what we call stereotypical barnyards, I'll come in and then I'll circle, make a large circle, and go all the way around, do a 360 if I have to, until I cut his track coming out of that barnyard. To really trim my profile, I don't use a lot of movements with my hands. I keep everything just kind of compact. So when I'm going through, thick areas, I'm using my body and just kind of leaning left and right, and I'm being real easy with my steps and feeling if there's a branch underneath. And if I feel it, I just pick my foot back up and replace it. But if I'm finding a track, I wouldn't be doing that. I'd just be moving along and really trying to cut that track as quickly as I can. So I'm heading on this track here. The reason I selected it was A, it was fresh. B, it had really good width. Width to me is just important, if not more important, than the stride length, because depending on how the deer is going, speed-wise, those strides could differ. So the width is really important. Deep snow is tough too, and we're really hunting in some deep snow here. So those typical cross-country skiers, your toe draggers, well, they're all dragging their toes when you have that depth of snow. So I'm really looking at the width of the deer, the tracks, and also when he's going around certain trees.
Hey, we're in the game. That's a 4-finger. That's 4.
So when I'm coming along a bed and I see that tarsal gland stain in the bed, I love picking that up because that's the best, the most fresh scent, and from that area as well. It's not store-bought. I call it like the buck deodorant, and it's frozen. So I just pick it right up and I just kind of get all my clothing, my shoulders, and my pant legs covered in it. Some people laugh at it. I just think it works really well. And again, that's better than any store-bought scent that you're going to get from anywhere else. That's a buck from the area, and a buck and rut. When I decide to sit down, it could be for a couple different reasons. A, I jump the buck and I want to wait that 30 minutes for that buck just to chill out and forget about me. And when those 30 minutes are up, I'll get back on him. So I kind of just pop a squat, if you will, anywhere on his track, and I just keep an eye out still. I'm not just relaxing. I'm always keeping an eye out because he could circle around on me again, or another buck could come in. Also another reason, if I take a seat, because it's just a hot area and maybe the conditions aren't great. Maybe it's crunchy out and maybe I'll be more effective still hunting. So when I still hunt, I'll take a seat here and there, and it could be waypoints that I've saved on my Onyx. Little areas that I need to check out. And if it's a still hunting condition, I'll take little seats here and there, but always being very vigilant and aware and mindful of other deer coming in and so forth. I don't just take a seat and get on my phone and play around or do whatever. I'm still keeping my movement and my sound to a minimum. If I'm on a hot track, I will hunt right till dark. I'm not saying I recommend that for everybody, but based on my experience in the woods and in life, I feel pretty comfortable. I always have a headlamp on me, so that's always charged up, extra batteries. Also with surviving out there, I always have a fire kit. That's a must too. I won't go into the woods without that. If the conditions are right and I'm on a big buck, I'll hunt till dark. So after 3 days in this area, I didn't get the success really that I wanted, but I still walked away with some success. This was a brand new area for me, and I really learned a lot. I learned how these bucks travel, especially that time of year. I was able to utilize my Onyx and hit these waypoints, and they'll be there for next year. I will be back in that area. They won the battle this year, and hopefully I'll win the war next year.
This is Brad Willey with Big Woods Bucks. If you have any questions on anything, we'll be able to help you out. Just go to our Facebook or our Instagram, drop us a message. We're all on there. Share your story with us. So, wish you guys the best this next season. Put in that work, get at the range, and never quit. Take care.